Hi everyone. We are discussing about how the quality of focus and concentration will decide the quality of our achievement. These episodes are very relevant not only for students, whether you are in the school or college, but for anybody. Whether you are an executive, whether you are a sports person, whether you are a leader, whatever may be. After all, we are in a profession or we are studying, and there is always a mind-body link. There is always knowledge acquisition and skill acquisition. The knowledge and skill can be acquired only when you are focused, and until and unless you focus, you will not be having adequate knowledge and skill. That's why your talent has to be honed and placed on a pedestal called the platform. Okay? So in the last episode, I was discussing with you the types of mind. Mind is wandering. We said the mind is disturbed, distracted, focused, mastermind. Just to recall for your attention, okay? Now, one of the major problems we have been facing in the last nearly 2 years is the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic situation. So, we have become addicted to a smartphone. We have become addicted to internet. It was not this intense couple of years ago, but out of necessity. Now we are getting used to this smartphone. Now we became restless. Just you take away your smartphone for 15 minutes and notice what's happening to your mind. You become anxious. It's something like when you're used to taking coffee at 6 o'clock in the morning, and if you don't get it, you get restless. If you're used to reading a newspaper of your choice, on a particular day, if the newspaper does not arrive, you become restless, right? Same thing happens to any addiction. A person is addicted to alcohol, a person is addicted to cigarettes. When you go through a pleasure, the brain secretes a hormone called dopamine. This dopamine is responsible for giving you that pleasure sensation. So when you take coffee, you feel happy, dopamine is produced. When you used to cigarette, smoking, and when you smoke, you feel happy, again the pleasure hormone dopamine is secreted. Same thing happens to you in a mobile phone. Now, especially when you are addicted to browsing the internet or WhatsApp or messages, it is designed in such a way that it catches your attention, right? Then they will ask you to subscribe. In fact, I am also asked you to subscribe and press the bell button. And the moment it gives you a ting, cling, tick like that, your attention is drawn immediately. Once your attention is taken away, it takes another 15 to 20 minutes to come back to where you left. This is the research says, right? So it's a habit. Habits are formed by ourselves. We have the natural capacity to concentrate. That's inborn. Next time when you see a child, a 1-year-old child, 2-year-old child, 3-year-old child, patiently notice what the child is doing. If the child is playing in mud, 100% attention is on that. If the child is playing with a toy, 100%. Next time when you see a child with a crayon drawing, 100% undivided attention. The child will not look this side and that side. But over a period of time, we learned to get distracted. We learned. Somebody introduced us to a telephone. Somebody introduced us to a mobile phone. Somebody introduced us to a WhatsApp. Somebody introduced us to YouTube and how to subscribe. And the content is free. Anything which is offered to you free, please be careful. When something is offered free, which means you are the product which is being sold. Please understand this, right? So we have to unlearn this habit. That's why I'm asking you these exercises. First and foremost, how many of you can sit straight without making any movement? How long can you sit? Do this exercise today after seeing this episode. How long can you sit with your eyes closed? Put a timer and find out. You will become restless. When you're traveling in a bus or a car, if you're not driving, give this test to yourself. Close your eyes and next 15 minutes I will not open. Before that, put the timer. You will become so restless because we got habituated to getting distracted. Right? And once it becomes a habit, it is very difficult to come out of it. Before concluding this episode, let me give you a story which I read long ago. There was a town and there was a library, very old library, hundreds of years old library. And there was a fire accident and almost all the books were destroyed. The fire engine people came, they extinguished the fire. Obviously all the books were thrown out to save the building, save the books. And the books were all strewn all around the streets. A person went aside and one particular book attracted him because it looked very, very old. You know what happens when years pass, maybe 100 years old or 200 years old, who knows. And out of curiosity, he picks up that book. And the book was almost burnt, but there were a few pages left unburnt. So he was browsing through that and his mind got attracted to a particular page. He started reading it and that read, there is an island and in a particular country, and the book mentions in that island there is a particular beach, and in that beach there were pebbles, and among those pebbles there is one particular pebble. If you are able to find that, if you touch anything with that pebble, that object will become gold. So he reads that couple of times and he becomes curious. And by looking at the age of the book, something tells him there should be some truth in that. And luckily for him, the next page there was a map also giving where this island is and where that particular beach is. He applies his mind and he gets convinced it's time for him to go in search of that beach. He sells his property, he sells his house, he sells his securities, collects all the money. His only goal is to go to that country, go to that beach and find out that pebble. So after weeks and months of travel, he arrives at that country. Looking at the map, he goes to that particular beach. And in that beach, the description, what was mentioned in the book is exactly there. He is able to see a mountain this side, he is able to see another mountain this side. And he goes through that story once again. It says, all the pebbles will look alike almost, but there is one particular pebble which will be warm. You know what happens in a beach? The pebbles will be cold because it is on the water. And it says you have to pick up each pebble. If it is cold, throw it out, continue your exercise. If you are able to get the correct pebble, it will be warm, and that pebble is that which will make everything gold. So he sits there takes one pebble, it is cold, throws it into the beach. Next one, cold, throws it into the beach. Next one, cold, throws it far away into the sea. And goes on and on and on. Days, weeks pass by. By this time, it has become a habituate. By this time, he has become habituated to pick the pebble, throw. Pick the pebble, throw. And one day he goes there, picks the pebble, throws. After throwing into the water, he realized, oh, it was warm. What happened? Because he got habituated to pick, throw, pick, throw, pick, throw, this one also automatically he threw into the sea. All that he invested his time, all these property he sold, all the securities he sold became wasted because of this habit. So my dear friends, understand that you have to concentrate. Over a period of time, you got into the habit of distraction. It is high time you unlearn and learn how to concentrate. Go to somebody who will teach you meditation. There are a lot of YouTube channels which will teach you. Understand that the mind is an amazing friend if you use it as a friend. Your mind can also become an enemy if you don't use it to your advantage. So today I'm going to give you an exercise. Exercise is very simple but very difficult. Very easy but very difficult. Sit straight, eyes closed, and see how long can you arrest your body. First step is arresting the body. The posture, eyes closed. I'll come to the arresting the mind in the next episode. Please subscribe to this channel, and if you have any comments, please post to the comment box. See you in the next episode.